I'm so honored to like talk about this today because music is my one and only. Whenever I'm in distress or when I'm happy, I'm sad, like for every emotion, music was always there for me. Like this is not like an out of the box topic. It is very fast, but also gives you the littlest happiness. I think music, you don't need a friend when you have music. Like I'm not really an introvert, but when you get when you feel music happening like in your mind, you don't need a friend. So today's topic is again, as I said, I'm so honored to talk about it, and thank you so much for giving me the chance to like let people know what music does to your brain and how it affects our life. So starting off, I wanted to like just give you a gist or just a liner of what is the definition of music. So music is nothing but organized sounds which are created, which has voices, which has instruments, and which has beats. As simple as that. I quickly wanted to ask, like, now because music connects with everyone, right? I heard Babla is like a shire, a singer like me too. I wanted to know like his perspective of how does he relate to music. Are you there, Babla? Sir, no.
I guess he could have gotten disconnected. Maybe you can ask anybody else who are in the panel.
Yes. How about Viral? Viral, how do you relate to music?
Oh, it's my it's the best thing of the start of the day. It gets me going. If someone asks me what's my source of energy, I think it's music. I listen to a lot of music, start of the day, end of the day primarily so that I can relieve myself of the pressure through the day, and start of the day so that it boosts my energy.
Yeah, so you see that like every emotion when you hear music, it either soothes you or it relieves you or amplifies your like happiness. So now, who I relate to the most is this man, his Stevie Wonder, one of the famous guitarists. What he says is music in a world within itself. It's a language we all understand. Now, why I think I relate to this man so much is that I'll give you an example. So I had gone to Goa when you could fly without the fear of pandemic. So I was at Goa like maybe last year, so there, I love to play music in front of the beach. That's my favorite things to do. So I went near the beach and I was playing music, and all of a sudden I see like people collecting. They also think that okay, someone's playing music, and they keep collecting. And there were people from all over the world, and they would just stand there and just like enjoy the music. Now what I mean to say here is that, do you see how these people, they don't even know the language, irrespective of the language they still enjoy the music? That's how I feel. It has its own language. You don't really need Hindi or English or any other language to really, really communicate. Music is also one way to communicate. So that's a gist of how music goes. Now we're going to talk about the scientific effects of the brain. So when you hear music, there are few things which happen in your brain you don't even know. So like how Viral said that start of the morning you listen to music, and then at the end of the day if you want to relieve yourself you listen to music. So because you get that relief, there is some things which happens in the brain part. Now, how did neurologists come into a conclusion like this? Is because they had this machine they developed. It is called the fMRI, the functional magnetic resonance imagery. Now, what that would do, so earlier there used to be a belief that right hemisphere of the brain, right part of the brain, is for musicians. So people who do music or people who paint, or are into art, they told that only the right part of the brain used to work. But since the fMRI came into the picture, so they realized that that's not thing. The whole, the throughout the brain, the neurons start to function. Uh, so there was this test conducted. So fMRI is nothing but like it's like a machine, and people get inside that tunnel like machine. They put some clips like things on the head, and as soon as they put that clip and they're inside that tunnel, the scientists will see images of how the neurons are communicating and things like that. So what they did a test, and the first time they were given food to eat, and they were looking at how the image, how the brain cells were working. So they were given food, it was normal. They were asked to read a book, it was normal. Like there were brain cells functioning, but it was normal. Then they were asked their favorite set of songs. And guess what? The neurons start to light up. They said that it lighted up the brain cells. Now, that was for people who listen to music. Now, instrumentalists. Now, what they did, another study again, these people, they tried to do this test on an instrumentalist who played cello. Cello is a huge instrument, uh, has six strings. It's a very huge sounds. It has a bassy sound. So they did an experiment on this guy, and they seemed to see fireworks happening in the brain. So these fireworks means that the neurons all throughout the brain were communicating. Each part of the brain started communicating. So that has few effects on the brain. So that's how they come into a conclusion. Like if you listen to music, there are a few things which happen to your brain, and if you don't, then there are different effects which happen. Let's see the first effect. So it says strong memory. Musicians, they tend to have stronger memory than non-musicians. How's that? So they, instrumentalists especially, or vocalists maybe, they do lessons. So their music lessons keep happening again and again. So they do one lesson, and they keep practicing that again and again and again and again and again. So one track again and again. So if you do one thing again and again, it looks like your memory becomes stronger, stronger than the non-musicians. Now, non-musicians won't, I mean, not demeaning them, but they won't really practice so much as how, uh, musicians would do. Now, better decision making. There was a study or an experiment held for children who would play music for 3 years, and set of other children who wouldn't. They were just studying and doing normal playing and things, normal things. These children who were learning music, they automatically started to identify shapes. They started to do that IQ test faster. So that were the most positive effects. So like you know what to do when you have kids now. You should start making them learn instruments for sure. And also it's never too late. So even though like you are old, you you can anyhow start to like learn music, because you know that there are positive effects. Now it says recovering memories. Now before I started doing this, started like doing the presentation, I was looking at how Alzheimer's, people who were affected with Alzheimer's, they were treated just by hearing music. Isn't that beautiful? Like I was looking at this video. So scientists and doctors were involved, and they were showing it like it was a live video where they were showing how things happen. So I'll just give you like a one quick video review. So this old man was affected with Alzheimer's. So Alzheimer's is nothing but you become very forgetful. You forget the most important moments of your life. So that's what happened, like in to this guy. So this old man was from the navy, which he didn't even remember. So old man, about like 70, 75 years old, he didn't remember nothing. He just remember he was just living to exist. There was a man who was standing right next to this guy, and he would ask, "Do you know who I am?" And he would like hit his head, and like he wouldn't remember, right? So he's trying so hard to remember, and he would say, "No, he doesn't know who this guy is," but that guy was his own son. Like just telling you how the extent of Alzheimer's on the brain has. Now what happened is, so this scientist, they was doing some research on how music affects the brain. This old man was asked a few set of questions. So at first they asked, "Do you remember, were you in the Navy? Or do you remember what you do? Do you remember the hobbies?" He'd answer negative to all of them. So he would say, no, he doesn't remember. He was in the Navy. He was surprised himself. And he doesn't remember nothing. Now, all of a sudden, he'd be hearing a set of songs. So he was put on headset, and he was asked to listen to a few songs, few patriotic American patriotic songs. And this guy starts to snap his fingers, start to bob his head, starts to tap his legs, and he was enjoying those set of music. So as soon as he was done hearing the music, he was asked, do you remember that you used to listen to this music, when you were in the Navy? Would you ever done that? And guess what? He remembers. He totally remembers what had happened. So that's how music has the effect on people who have Alzheimer's or dementia or biggest memory loss problems. Don't you feel nostalgic? Can I ask the panelists, one of the panelists, can you tell me, don't you think when you hear like a track, don't you feel nostalgic? Like, oh, wait, I remember when I was little, I used to hear that, or some memories like that. Would you want to share any memories like that? Sushimna?
Nostalgic, I think there are a lot of memories. Let me route it to some of our attendees here, and maybe you can pick any of the other panelists, Sharon, to kind of check.
Yes.
So I'd like to check with the audience today if you have any memories, nostalgia, which is related to music, anything that you think that you'd want to share here with everybody. Please feel free to. Anybody from the panelists you would want to kind of check about it, Sharon?
Yes.
Uh,
Yes, go ahead, someone.
Actually, that's the only memories I have. I mean, I only keep listening to music. I only keep recollecting music, and I mean, that's life for me.
Yeah, that sounds really good, because I feel that there are times where people like listen to one track, and like they feel that because every age generation, when I was like 15, I used to listen to some songs. Then I turned 20, used to listen to some songs. So when I listened to songs when I was 15, I would remember those times of my life.
Right. There are some responses here, Sharon. So
Okay.
Royson says, music's always acted as a catalyst to some of the memories, like a
Oh,
flood. Cloud Nine by Bryan Adams for Viral, bringing back memories. Christmas carols makes me remember memories of school days,
totally.
being a part of choir, and a friend that the person lost. Music apparently has also been a good conversational starter. Different
Yes.
people, different interests, right? And yeah, I think Mile Sur Mera Tumhara is very nostalgic, going back to DD days. Yeah,
Yeah.
over to you, Sharon. Yeah.
Perfect. I completely forgot about the chat. Please let me know whatever you feel like. If you have any questions, just comment, write in the chat, and Sushimna would read out for us, and we'll go from there. Now about the bigger brain. Do you also know people who are instrumentalists, especially the sizes of their brains differ? So when they are not doing music, or people who are non-musicians, the size of the brain are a bit smaller than the people who do music, who learn music. I didn't even know that. Energy efficiency. This is this pointer which I think I should totally bring out, because of this pandemic happening outside, everyone's working at home, right? And to use up that energy, I think music plays a very important role. Just try doing this at home. Don't play music and start working out. Just start working out. Unless you are a really a person like who would work out. But if you are not that, if you are kind of like me, I am the kind of person like I need a push. I need a push to work out. Otherwise, I wouldn't. So music does that push for me. So if you just don't hear music and start working out, the brain will send you signals to stop. So you will take longer breaks. You will take longer breaks before. So when you're working out, you do reps, right? So you will stop because the brain is sending you signals to stop. Like I think you can stop, but the very same way, start doing music or start inducing music during a workout, you will be distracted into music. And if you have like a higher tempo music, then nothing like it. You will sweat during your workout time. Now, pain relief, if you are really facing like internal pain, you should totally visit a doctor. But what I mean by this is that if you are going through some pain, if you want to lessen the pain, you hear music and you get that relief. And this one's totally true because there were studies held for people who were going through pain. When I say pain, it's bodily, physical pain, and that had lessened just hearing music. Just hearing music, not even playing, just hearing music. Now, it also has 64% lower risk in cognitive impairment. Sound engineers, they usually listen to the tracks, listen to the BPM and things like that. So what happens in there is that they listen to those tracks so much that their auditory cortex, like there's a little gland which is in between the brain, that start to function a lot. And because of that, when they go old, so when they're like 50 or 60, how usually there's a little, loss in hearing or sometimes loss in looking at things, just by listening to music, that you can reduce the risk in these impairments happening. So that would be it for scientific effects. Now, we'll talk about music composition. Now, because we are also talking about music, I would also want to know what is music created of? Now, you know that it is organized sounds, right? So that is the definition of music. But what does that consist of? Melody, the most important part of music. Melody is nothing but the voice. So you need a voice for a track, right? So when you're listening to music, there are people who listen to EDM and just beats, but that's completely different. But for a normal track to happen, you listen to music. There will be a voice that which is the most important. This thing. A.R. Rahman says voice is his instrument. So if you have a good voice, then that's you have an instrument with you. So melody is one of the factors, or that's how that's how music is created. That's how a track is created. Then rhythms nothing but the beats. So if you have tabla or if you have the drums, so those are rhythms. Then instruments are nothing but the guitar or the piano or the Casio. Those are the instruments. And tempo is nothing but the how the song goes. Like the song has to be in one. The timing has to be right. So timing is tempo. So that's how the composition happens. Now we're going to do a little activity. Panelists and people who are listening to this, they have to be very attentive. So you have to have the detail. You should listen to these tracks and have the details with you. Like you should hear and tell me which Now you know their voice, right? Melody, instruments, tempo, and instruments and tempo and vocals, right? Now what you need to do is there are two videos which are going to play. One is going to be without the vocals, the other one is going to be with the vocals. So what you have to do is here to this is just going to be one a minute video. You'll have to guess and tell what you hear. If you hear any instruments, if you hear any timing, tempo, if you hear any rhythm, you have to let me know. Okay, you guys ready?
And time for everybody to be active on the chat. So I'll kind of, once everything's done, I'll probably read it out. So here you go, Sharon. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Just let me know if you can hear what I'm playing, going to play. Okay.
अर्जियां सारी में चेहरे पे लिख के लाया हूँ तुमसे क्या मांगूं मैं तुम खुद ही समझ लो मौला 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 मेरे मौला 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 मेरे मौला 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 मेरे मौला 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 मौला
Okay. So this is one of my favorite tracks by A.R. Rahman, sung by Javed Ali. Now we are going to hear the second track. Now this track is no different than this one, just that the vocals are taken off. This is just the karaoke version. For you to guess which, whatever sounds you hear, just type in the chat.
Sharon, I don't think there is any much that we can hear.
Oh, okay. Okay, but you hear? Did you hear the first one?
No, the first one we could. The second
Okay.
one not audible.
Okay, no problem. So this is no different than this one, but can you read out the answers if you have any?
For the first one,
Uh-huh.
do you want to forward it a little more and then play it, or how would you want to do the second version?
You can't. It's not audible, right? So I'll forward.
It's barely that we can hear anything with it.
Okay, I'll try.
Now we can hear. Yeah.
Okay. Do we have the answers? Can any of the panelists let me
Right.
tell me what they hear?
Tabla, guitar, vocals, harmonium, harmonium, tabla, melody, rhythm. I see tambourine.
Oh,
Um, I see largely to do with tabla and tabla and tambourine, tabla, guitar. Um, First one was more of vocal, and the second had many other instruments playing.
wow. Perfect, perfect. So most importantly, these were the
Bass
four
guitar,
to five
right?
important things.
Okay.
Perfect. So we had the vocals, we had the harmonium, there's tabla, guitar. They were A.R. Rahman uses a lot of other things. The first things what you heard, he used an audio pad and things like that. But we're just talking about just a little bit of whatever you heard. So people who said harmonium, tabla, guitar, they got it. They got it. Now let's jump onto this little idea to why do people listen to sad music and what exactly happens when they listen to sad music. Okay. So, for example, this smiley, what you see, think that that's me. Okay. And I'm going through a very bad day. I'm very sad. I'm listening to sad music. Okay. Now, when I'm listening, so okay, here I'm listening to happy music. So I'm sad, but here I'm listening to happy music. So what happens when I'm listening to happy music is that I don't really feel or I don't really relate to what these people are talking because I feel a very crowded. I feel detached because I am sad, but the music director doesn't really get what I'm feeling. So I'm sad, but this time I'm listening to sad music. Now, when I'm sad and I'm listening to sad music, I will I will feel like I'm totally getting this. This music director feels or the vocalist totally understands what I'm going through. But you're not going to be happy all of a sudden, even though you're listening to sad music. But you will have a sense of release. The music will soothe you, so you'll be happy in your mind, not like happy in the literal sense. Now we're also going to talk about how direction changes the scene. The most important part in a movie is that when the music director gives music to the scene, if uh, like if there's a movie which is made, okay, there's dialogues and everything is already set, but if you want like the gist of the movie or the heart of the movie, if you want to reach it to the audience, it's the music director who plays that role. The reason why is because if there's a sad scene and if there's no sad music, then the audience is not really going to get it. Like you'll get it when you hear this video. Can you hear this, Sushima? Can you see this?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Okay, so this guy is just running, but just listen to what the music is happening in the background. Okay, this guy is just running. It's the same scene but different music. Did you see that? I'm not going to play the whole thing, but did you guys see that? Like, see how the music changes the scene completely, but that the actor is just doing the running. He's not doing anything else. But it's the job of the music director to put in the music and depict what the storytellers want to really tell to the audience. Now we know how the track is made, how the artists are involved, how the music directors are involved, and how the music composers are involved. But do you know people live off of music in the sense that people make money out of this? So this Sony BMG, Universal Music, and EMI and Warner Music, these are the four big shots record labels. So now, when you have the track, everything is ready. If you want people to hear it, right? If you want to reach it to a lot of people, you go to the record labels and tell that, okay, see, I'm ready with the track, but I want a lot of people to hear it. So these people will sign the artist and they do the distribution work. So if you want to check this, right, like how these claims, how they do the copyright of the, how they own the music, just upload a video on YouTube. Do a copy of a song and upload the same thing, the same video, the same track, and upload it on YouTube, and you will see that there is a copyright claim on your video. So what they'll do is that that copyright claim means, see, this is my original music, but you have used it on your video, but I'm going to make money. Like 50% of this money, what you are making out of that video, is going to be mine. Mine, as in these record labels. So the record labels, they'll get all the money, and then the distribution happens. So few percentage of the money is gone to people, like people who are artists, people who are composers. Like a little bit of percentage of this money are gone there. This is what I wanted to sneak in. Now there's one more. I think we have 10 more minutes. What you see on the screen is this is activity time. So what you see on the screen right now is colorful genres of music. Before we start this, can you guys list out what's your favorite genres? What's one of your favorite genres? Can Bopaya
Right.
tell me what's one of your favorite genres? Okay, anybody who?
In general, I kind of like all sorts of music.
Okay, okay. Anybody who likes like a very weird, different genre, anything different.
Weird. I'm not sure. I'm getting a lot of responses from the audience, Sharon. So there is
Okay.
rock, jazz, Qawwali, deathcore,
Oh,
Western, gypsy jazz, country, ghazal, and Qawwali, rap, specifically Eminem, melody, pop,
okay.
hard rock. So
Wow. Okay. Thank you so much for the
melancholy,
responses.
reggae. It's kind of flowing in quite a bit. Django, Renin Hart, Altaf Raja. I don't know if that's a genre, but yeah, uh,
Okay.
yeah, that's quite a few of it, Sharon. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Perfect then. So now you guys at least look get an idea. So the reason why I asked this was just to know if you know like a little bit of idea of how genres work. So what I'll do now is what you see here is a few options which you'll have to choose from. Now I will stop sharing for a while. Oops. Sushma, could you tell me how do I stop sharing for a while?
You've switched off your video. I think you've stopped sharing your screen already, Sharon.
Oh, okay. Okay, perfect. This is just like I want to read the lyrics, so I'll have to stop sharing for a while. So what you'll need to do is tell me what I'll be playing like few intros of a few songs. Now you guys are already experts on guessing the genre, so now you'll have to guess and tell which genre which song belongs to. Okay, let us.
Just a quick time check, Sharon. We have
Yeah.
about 4 more minutes left. Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay. We'll just do two or three songs.
Sure.
Okay. On a dark desert highway, cool wind in my hair, warm smell of eucalyptus rising up to the air. Up ahead in the distance, I saw a shimmering light. My head grew heavy and my stride grew dim. I had to stop for the night. Do we have the responses yet?
Yes, we have soft rock, classic rock, country. These were some of the main ones. I think a lot of classic rock and rock is what we've come to
You
hear,
got
and
it.
country.
You got it. It's rock. It's rock. Okay. Let's jump
Fun.
on right next to the other one. Uh, लाल मेरी पत रखियो भला झूले लालन ओ लाल मेरी पत रखियो भला झूले लालन सिंदड़ी दा सेवणदा सखी शाबाश कलंदर दमादम मस्त कलंदर हो दमादम मस्त कलंदर. You know the song? Do we have the guesses?
Yes, we have quite a few. We have it starting from Indian folk, Sufi, Qawwali to fusion. These are the
I
guesses.
Awesome. Okay, I really wish I could give a prize to someone who said Kavali because it is Kavali.
Wonderful. There are quite a few. That's great.
Okay,
Wonderful.
and we'll just do two more songs now.
We have just about a minute, Sharon. If there's
Okay,
anything that you want to close out on, maybe you want to have one more in case people are still there. Maybe we could take
okay,
one more and close it at that.
okay, okay. We're just doing one, and you guys have to guess. होश वालों को खबर क्या बेखुदी क्या चीज है होश वालों को खबर क्या बेखुदी क्या चीज है इश्क कीजिए फिर समझिए इश्क कीजिए फिर समझिए जिंदगी क्या चीज है होश वालों को खबर क्या बेखुदी क्या चीज है.
It's been unanimous, Sharon. What else could it be other than ghazal, right?
Of
So
course.
I think that's all the response that we've got. So
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, you all, to join in. I would just end my presentation. I think we're already done with our time. I would really wanted to sing a bit more to like talk to you all. But thank you so much like for letting me talk about music. I hope you guys learn something new. It is not going to be normal for you. Your brain's going to you know how your brains have worked. It's not going to be normal the next from tomorrow. It's not your brain's not going to be normal because you know something new.
I
That's all I
think we would love to have another session as well, Sharon. I think a lot of requests coming in for singing as well. So we'll surely have many more sessions. Thank you so much for such a
thank you.
wonderful session. It was
Thank you so much.
absolutely amazing. And thank you for all the participants to joining in for, I think here in Bangalore, it's raining and with music, an amazing combination. Couldn't have asked for more. Thank you all. Have a good evening. Wonderful.
Thank you
Thanks,
so much.
Sharon. It was
Bye-bye.
lovely. Completely enjoyed.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you, Tanya.
Yeah, we surely will have one session only for your singing.
Sure.
Now that we are able to understand, the meaning behind it and all, I think we'll be completely enjoying the next session.
Yes, yes, I love to play for you all. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Karen.
Thanks, Viral. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharon. Well done.
Thank you, Chela. Okay, then I will take your leave. Thank you so much for joining. Bye bye.